Now, for Londoners rushing to work this morning, the sight of a helicopter crashing to earth in a ball of fire was little short of terrifying. After it hit the top of one of the many tall cranes which punctuate the capital's skyline, it killed 2 people, including the pilot, Pete Barnes, and injured another dozen. But in truth, there could have been many more casualties. That's because the helicopter came down in a densely populated area at the peak of the rush hour. It hit the Wandsworth Road, 300 yards from the crane, which was on top of St George's Wharf Tower, as Porrick O'Brien reports.
How do you react if on your way into work you come across this?
Get away!
Some of the first on the scene just stopped and stared. Then it starts to dawn on others. They start running away.
What's that?
Helicopter.
No. At some point, the shout goes up.
No, someone's in the car.
I need to help these guys.
No, someone's in the car, son.
Some go forward trying to help. Others start ushering people away.
I arrived on the scene of the crash little under an hour after it happened. An eyewitness told me on the scene that the helicopter under dense fog hit that crane against the tower. You can see behind me, you can see a large chunk of the crane missing.
Other eyewitnesses describe seeing the helicopter experience some difficulty before hitting the crane. The emergency services arrived in record time, and as the flames subsided, parts of the helicopter came into view. Pieces of engine here, the tail wing on a nearby roof there. By late morning, the news that 2 people had died. One was on the ground. The other was pilot and father of 2, Captain Peter Barnes. He was also one of the most experienced pilots in the business, with over 12,000 flying hours under his belt. So, what happened? He left Redhill in Surrey at 7:35 en route to Elstree Studios in Hertfordshire. It's understood he asked to be diverted to Battersea Heliport because of dense fog. He never made it. Just before 8, his helicopter hit the crane at St George's Wharf Tower in Vauxhall. Eyewitnesses say they saw the helicopter experience some difficulty. There were also reports that hazard lights on the crane were either not switched on or weren't clear enough. There were no hazard lights visible when this footage was taken this morning. It's this man's job to find out what happened.
We're going to be trying to build a picture of the operational and mechanical aspects of the occurrence, and then we'll return the wreckage to our facility in Farnborough in Hampshire. It may take several months before we can produce a definitive report into the event.
Some facts, though, are incontrovertible. 12 people were injured. 2 people died when a helicopter fell out of the sky onto one of London's busiest streets at rush hour. It's near miraculous that this tragedy wasn't much, much worse.